Hi, my name is Dr. Kathy Castle, and I'm the Director of Business and Professional Communication. I've been teaching this course since 2002. This is a course that I believe strongly in. Every time I get ready for a new semester, I take a look just to make sure, and I see what it is that employers are now talking about that they want for their incoming employees. And every semester, it's top-notch communication skills. They're looking for employees who have good interpersonal communication skills. They're looking for employees who can work well in teams and can collaborate in teams. They're looking for employees who have strong oral communication skills, who can develop a clear argument and support it with credible sources. They want employees that can represent them well in the community. They want employees that can build the kinds of relationships that are necessary to conduct solid, good business. They want the kinds of employees that are able to develop and reach out and generate new business. They're looking for employees that can contribute through their communication and relationship building to a positive, productive culture. These are the kinds of employees that not only get the jobs, but once they get into their professional career, these are the employees that also get promotions, that are considered top candidates for moving upward within that organization because they've learned and they've got that skill set on how to develop these relationships and keep people working well together, working through difficulty. Inevitably, you're going to have conflict in the workplace or differences in opinion. You're going to work with somebody who maybe irritates you. You're going to maybe irritate somebody. You're going to have to be in a position to articulate what it is that you're doing, what it is that you plan to do. You have to inform people across the board, whether they're your peers, your superiors, or your subordinates. You have to be able to communicate effectively to be successful. And too often employees get into this position or into a new job and they don't have these skills. So when that happens, they may get into the job, but they're going to stagnate in their career. And they will not be the person that's thought of first for the next promotion. What I want for each and every one of you is the ability to walk out of this class and say, I've got the foundation that I need to be successful in a business environment. So what I find each and every semester is that the skill sets that we emphasize match up with what it is that employers are looking for. So what it is that we will be doing this semester is we will be focusing on the kinds of skills that the employers are looking for. And those skills include public speaking skills, learning how to effectively organize an informative presentation, and not just organize it, but support the claims that you're making. We will be working with how to deliver constructive feedback to your peers and to your subordinates, and how to respond to the kinds of constructive feedback that are being offered to you on a regular basis in a professional environment. You'll have both the knowledge and the opportunity to employ those skills as you go through the course of the semester. As your section instructors provide feedback to you, you can work with the skills that we're teaching you to try to understand what that feedback is and try to understand how to process it and use it to improve your performance on future assignments and, importantly, on the things that you engage outside of and beyond this class. You'll be working with and developing team collaboration skills. And so one of the things that has consistently come up as important across professions is the ability to be an effective team member. And that can mean, I think oftentimes students that hear that think I can be a really good team leader. A team is comprised of people who fill a variety of very important roles, one of which is that of leader. But there are a whole host of other things that make a productive team flow well and be effective in what it is that they're trying to do. If you're trying to solve a problem or make a decision, you have to have processes in place that support the development of productive relationships on the team, that help support the emergence of productive norms on the team, expectations for behavior. You have to be able to identify who's going to lead the group. You have to be able to identify the person that's going to organize and structure the ways in which you communicate, set up goals and timelines, facilitate positive relationships. There's a whole host of things. And as somebody who's well versed in how teams form and what takes what it takes to have an effective team, you'll be able to walk into any team situation and assess where that team is at. What does it have a lot of? What is it missing? What role do you need to play to make that an effective team? And believe me, when you are able to adapt to the kinds of situations you're put in professionally because you've built this repertoire of skills, you're able to be super effective in what you're doing. And people notice that. People notice that when you get put on a team, things get done, especially if that team's been struggling. So when you have the ability to work effectively to correct situations that maybe aren't going well because you've developed an understanding of communication and how it works in a professional environment, you really set yourself apart. So we'll also be looking at, and you'll be given opportunities to apply the ability to organize and prioritize your work. In this course, you're going to be expected to stay on top of due dates, to make sure you understand what each assignment expects of you, what it is that your section instructor specifically is expecting of you as you complete the assignments in this course. You're going to want to ask questions if you aren't clear and if you don't understand what's going on. You're going to want to make sure you take advantage of the resources in the course itself. We've gone to a lot of trouble to make sure that you have resources that will help you solve problems on your own. So for example, if you look at the student resources in Canvas, you're going to see that we have a technological section. This allows you to explore, hey, if I'm having trouble doing something in Canvas or accessing a lecture or something along those lines, run through the troubleshooting steps. That fixes 98% of the problems that our students run into. So run through those first, and if you aren't able to solve it with the information that's provided, be proactive in talking with your GTA so that you can get it solved. Learning how to take control of those situations is a really important step in developing your professional competence. So working through that, making sure you're on top of when things are due, getting things done to the specifications of the assignment, setting up a schedule and sticking to it, making sure that you're coming to class prepared each and every week, having watched the lecture, having read the book and taken notes, and having thought through what it is that you've heard and learned in your own specific sections. That's really important that you're able to do those things. So it's really important to recognize that these skills are skills that you're going to have the opportunity to learn, working through interpersonal situations, understanding how interpersonal skills help you to develop productive relationships, taking control of the workflow, making sure you're understanding how to prioritize your work, making sure that you know how to contribute to a productive team and that you can actually enact the skills that you're learning, and developing your public speaking skills. Some of you are coming into this class with no exposure to public speaking, and others of you are coming in with quite a bit of experience. And that's okay either way, because what we know about public speaking is that the more you do it, the better you are. So if you're taking this class and you've already had some exposure to it, take this opportunity to continue to improve. We're teaching a specific organizational structure, the linear speech pattern. Embrace that, learn that, and use it as a resource for you. Most business and professional informative presentations follow this structure, so take the opportunity to learn it. You're going to learn and have the opportunity to practice impromptu speaking. That's really important to develop those skills. So if you've done a lot of it, this is another opportunity to get better. If you've never done it at all and you're really nervous, that's okay. We understand that this is a nerve-wracking experience. We also know that doing it and doing it more than once and doing it multiple times helps you to get better. So we want to see you embrace the opportunities that we provide you in this class to apply what it is we're teaching and improve your skill set. That's what we're looking for. So the skills that I'm talking about are skills that the employers are looking for in their employees. And the question is, why? Why are employers looking for their employees to have good communication skills? And what it really does come down to is that communication skills in employees allow for better employee relationships, which means that employees work better together, they're more productive together, they're able to get things done and solve problems better. We have increased employee participation when we have strong communication skills. So what that means is every employee has different ideas and thoughts about what is going well and what is not going well, and maybe this is a really great idea to help enhance productivity or increase efficiency or whatever it might be. But when employees aren't participating in their organizational environment, they aren't sharing those ideas. When we have good communication and a strong organizational culture, we have employees that participate more, which is good for the organization, because not only do those ideas then get heard and there's more opportunities to be innovative and creative, we also have increased employee satisfaction and increased employee commitment, which leads to lower turnover. And that affects the bottom line. So good communication skills are vital to organizations for just this reason alone, right? So this is really important. But there are even more reasons why it is that this is important. Good communication skills are central to effective team collaboration. You have to be able to communicate well in teams and work effectively in a team in most professional environments. This becomes really important. This helps to develop a positive relational climate and a strong, productive, supportive organizational culture, which is, again, in turn, something that helps retain employees. This all leads to improved productivity, an improved product or service, improved process and processes, increased efficiencies, increased employee retention, better customer service, and an enhanced employee brand. There are a whole host of reasons why, as an employer, I want employees who communicate well and who have strong communicative competence. It affects my bottom line, and really, that's an important thing, right? So that's the thing in business. So I want to know that I'm creating an environment that allows me to have the best bottom line possible. So the learning objectives of this course really are fairly simple. What I'm looking for and what we all are working together to help our students understand is that it helps you to deepen your understanding of communication processes in the workplace. We want to improve your professional communication competence. We want you to help learn how to research, organize, and deliver professional presentations. We want to work on your impromptu speaking and help develop and apply teamwork skills and strategies. We want you to understand and engage the communication issues and challenges that different professions, organizations, or industries are facing. And these are professions or organizations or industries that you yourself can zero in on because of your interest in them, and try to understand what kinds of challenges do they face communicatively, and how could solutions that are communicative in nature solve those challenges, or at least help enhance the ways in which they manage them. So the course structure. How is the course structured? Well, this is a hybrid course, and so you have your course director, and that's me. I organize the course, I deliver the weekly online lectures, and then you have your section instructors, and this is the person who you will work with most closely. This is the person who is going to be primarily your guide throughout the semester. This is a person that is teaching your weekly course meetings. Teaching is a really interactive process. This is the person that's going to be teaching you in that way. They will be working with you to develop the skill sets that we talk about and master the learning outcomes. They will provide you with detailed and specific guidance and feedback over the course of the semester, whether it's in class, on your assignment feedback, in their office hours, over email. You will be getting a lot of guidance, specific instructions, and feedback from this instructor, and you'll want to apply all of that to the work that you do moving forward. You will work with this person with the questions that you have. They will answer your questions in and outside of the classroom, and this is the person who assesses all of your work. And they assess your work in accordance with what you are learning in the course lectures, what you are learning in the readings, and what you are learning in your interactions with them. So you will want to be sure that you are listening to them, and when you have questions, ask them directly. Don't ask students in different sections. You need to work with your specific instructor, because there may be some specific guidance that you're being offered that you are going to be expected to apply. So be sure you're working with your section instructor when you have questions. You will also have weekly quizzes that will be over the assigned reading and the assigned lecture. These are about 15 minutes, no more. And so you'll be expected to come prepared so that you can answer these questions pretty easily and spend the first 15 minutes of class going through and answering them. They are reading quizzes and just very they're intended to help ascertain how well you read and watched the lecture, the level of detail that you paid and attention that you paid to the detail. The assignments are an opportunity for you to demonstrate your understanding of the reading and the lecture, and to demonstrate your understanding of the material and guidance that's being presented in your specific section meetings. So you're expected to follow the guidance and instructions of that section instructor that you'll be working with. So what are some tips for you to be successful? In talking with students that have taken this class and done really well with it, there are several things you can do to maximize your ability to be successful in this class. First, of course, you should be familiar with your Canvas shell. Know what's there, know what resources are there for your success. Make sure that you understand where to submit your assignments, where to access reading materials. Make sure you're familiar with your ebook, make sure you know how to access the lectures. There's plenty of resources in your Canvas shell to help you troubleshoot problems, get additional support in understanding how to complete the assignments. So be sure you're familiar with that and you're comfortable with it. And if you're not, ask your instructor some questions about that. Be sure you're coming prepared to every one of your class meetings, and that means that you really should set up a schedule. Most students who have been successful in this class tell me that what they've done is set up a regular schedule where they will view the lecture every week in a distraction-free environment, where they're not tempted to pay attention to something else, where there isn't a bunch of noise going on in the background. You really have to recognize that the lecture that's delivered online is replacing one of your weekly class meetings. So typically a course will meet 2 times a week. One of your meetings is an online lecture and the other one is your weekly class meeting with your instructor. So you need to be sure that you are dedicating the proper amount of time to both pay attention to, watch, and take notes over the online lecture. You also should take time to read the chapters that are assigned. It's important that you take careful notes over the reading and over the lecture so that you're clear on what we're teaching you and what it is that you're expected to learn. So set up this schedule and make sure you've got that ready to go. Work closely with, listen to, and respond productively to the guidance of your specific instructor throughout the course of the semester. If you aren't understanding something, be proactive. If you get feedback that you don't fully understand after considering it, go clarify it so you know how to improve for the next assignment. Apply the course concepts that are presented in your readings, in your lecture, and in your weekly class meetings to all of your assignments. Make sure you're proactive in understanding these things and in troubleshooting problems. And then work closely with your semester team early in the semester and be consistent in the ways that you meet with them and that you make steady progress over the course of the semester so that you, toward your final project, so that you aren't finding yourself in a situation where you're trying to get 5 or 6 different people all on a schedule at the very last minute. That's really tough. All of you are busy. All of you have outside obligations. You have plenty of time to come together as a team. We assign those teams early. It's really on you to be sure you're taking the initiative to start coming together. You have the assignment and the specifications for the assignment from the first day of the semester. You get your semester teams fairly early in the semester. We also have an assignment provided to you that you will be doing early in the semester just to make sure you've touched base, that you've got a plan together, that you're already applying the concepts we want you to apply. So just be sure that you take advantage of that and that you start working closely. Don't stop working after that. Keep working progressively toward the completion of your project. Okay, so when we think about getting familiar with your Canvas shell, it's a really pretty basic shell. When you come in, you'll have the opportunity, of course you saw where to watch the lecture. You'll have to, just anything highlighted in red with a underline underneath it or a line underneath it is a link, either to a document that we'll download or to another part of the course that will allow you to access that part of the course. So when you first come in, you're going to see the syllabus and course schedule. That's going to be the place where you spend most of your time. You'll also see Meet Your Instructor. That's going to be information about the instructor that you'll be working with throughout the course of the semester. And then there's some information on me, the course director. When you come into the syllabus and course schedule, you're going to first see a document course syllabus. This syllabus is going to have all of the policies for the course, the expectations. You should get familiar with that because these are the policies that will guide the course of the semester. So be sure you're familiar with that. You also have 4 different areas of student support resources, all of which take you to different resources to help support your success. Then you'll notice you have a printable course schedule. If you meet on Tuesday, it will say Tuesday. If you meet on Thursday, then you'll have a Thursday specific schedule. And then underneath that, you'll have the schedule laid out. This one is a Tuesday schedule. You would have a Thursday if you were on a Thursday section. You'll have the date and you'll have what's due. You click on the Learning Module 1, for example, and you're going to see a number of different resources there. You're going to have to read Why Communication, Tips for Success. You want to get your ebook registered. And when you do that, you click on your registration link, and it's going to take you to a place where you can start registering that ebook. So to understand how to do that, basically the first thing you're going to do is you're going to connect into the section just by clicking on that link. And you're going to go down, you might have to scroll down a little bit, and you're going to click on Register Now. You'll see that A next to it in red. Then after that, you'll put in the email address that you want to use. Now you're going to need to log into this every time, so be sure you remember, use the email address probably that you're also using for Canvas so that you can keep it simple. You're then going to be prompted to put the registration code that you purchased from the bookstore if that's how you decided to purchase the book. You can certainly do that. I will tell you that the bookstore price is significantly higher than if you were to buy it directly from the publisher. I believe the publisher price is $78. At least that's the general area that I think it's in. And the bookstore has been marked up, of course, because they mark the prices up in order to make a profit. So what I want you to do is do whatever you need to do. If you need to buy it through the bookstore, you would buy the bookstore and get your registration code in. If you have the option to buy it directly from the publisher, then you can just go ahead and buy your access online and just follow those prompts. So you can do either one of those things and then fill out the information that's required. And then what you're going to do is sign in every single time. So when you establish a password, make sure it's a password you will remember. Again, I would recommend you use the same one you use for Canvas, so there's never any question. And then every time you click on that link, you'll just put your email and your password in. And so that's how you would do that. Once you get into your course, then you're going to see that you'll have an option to select your course. If you have other Connect courses, you'll need to find the one that's for Fall 2017 COM 286. And when you come in there, you're going to have the opportunity then to find the different readings that are going to be assigned. So you will have them broken down by learning modules. And so when you're in Learning Module 2, what you're going to do is register for, select the readings for Learning Module 2. So you've got Chapter 1, Communicating at Work. You have the Models of Communication. You also have the option, if you so choose, to select the Learn Smart for Chapter 1, so you can read it. I mentioned this earlier. You can read the book through Learn Smart and be quizzed as you go, or you can just read it straight by clicking Chapter 1, Communicating at Work. You would then select Chapter 2. And read that one, or you can just read it straight through. Once you get into the book, you can read Chapter 1 and just go straight through the end of Chapter 2. Each of the learning modules is broken down that way, so you can make sure that you have the right readings for that week. It'll also be listed in your schedule, so that's the way you do that. When you get ready to submit an assignment, so we're back into Canvas, you're going to want to go to the learning module that you're in, so back into your syllabus and course schedule. You can do it that way. You can also then select Learning Module 2. That's going to be when your first one is there. You'll see Student Information Sheet highlighted, which is due by the class start time, and it is important to note that your assignments are always going to be due at the time that your class starts. So your assignment will be due on the due date at the start of class, so you need to have it turned in before your class begins into Canvas. So your Student Information Sheet, when you click on that, you can click on the link here. It'll give you the description. It'll download it. This is a particular one that you'll download and fill out. And then you'll save it, and you will submit it by clicking on Submit the Assignment. You will then upload the assignment. You'll be asked to click a specific button that verifies that this is your own original work. Obviously, we expect everything that you do in this class to be your own original work. Be sure you're reviewing those policies in the course syllabus. You cannot turn in work that you've completed in a prior semester. If you're retaking this class, you can't submit work from a different class, and certainly don't want to submit work that another student has done. So if you have questions about that, be sure you're talking to your instructor. The last thing we like to see is a student that ends up in this situation. So it's always important for you, if there's any questions at all, that before you do something that could be potentially problematic, that you speak with your section instructor and don't put yourself in a bad spot. Read the policy and the syllabus, and if you have questions, be sure you're talking with your instructor. When you get ready to submit it, you'll just click submit, you'll upload the assignment, and then if I were you, just to double check it's there, you're going to see that it says submission is turned in. When you click on that assignment again, you should also see that same note that says that it's been turned in. So that's essentially just a very quick overview of your Canvas shell. Spend some time looking at it, see what's there. You can access assignments on the actual assignments tab, but it's been organized in a way so that you can look at the date and access the materials that are assigned for that date. You can also take a look and see when everything is due. I would encourage you to plan ahead on all of these dates. Take a look at the due dates. Take a look at when things are due. Feel free to print off the schedule if that's easier for you. We're really trying to find ways to make it real easy and manageable for you, so be sure you're doing whatever works best for you. All right, thank you so much, and good luck this semester. I really look forward to it, and I hope you have a great semester.